What's going on, you guys? It's your boy Town Biz. So, yesterday, for the most part, I have nothing bad to say. As far as the NBA returning to NBC, for the most part, saw some good quality basketball. Broadcasting was on point, you know. But let's really talk about the subject at hand, the return of Michael Jordan. What was we going to expect from Michael Jordan? And Michael Jordan delivered. Great interview. This is why people line up and just want to get a piece of Michael Jordan because of how charismatic he is. And he was just talking about the game, the love for the game, and he's saying, hey, he's paying it forward. He said basically the reason why he haven't been seen lately because when he retired X amount of years ago, he wanted to spend more time with his family, and he wanted to focus on being a father. Because keep in mind, when you're Michael Jordan, you're always gone, you're always on the road, and you know, I guess he wanted to watch his kids, grow because he missed a big portion of their lives, and we all know why. So that's understandable. But Michael Jordan, his kids are grown now. So now I guess he figured now he had a place in his life and his career where basically he can focus on him now, on MJ, and we all welcome him back with open arms. So it was great to hear him talk. And one thing about Michael Jordan, I do like his competitive nature. Now, have there been times where you heard about Michael Jordan being extremely and overly competitive? Yeah, absolutely. But to just hear him say if it was up to him, he wish he could, you know, put on some shorts, suit up, put on his signature shoes, and go back on the court. But he feels, at the age of 62, he could hurt himself. But I wouldn't mind seeing Michael Jordan lose a little bit of weight and become basically a shooting coach and work with some of these players. There's one I would love to see him work with, but I think, well, I'm just going to say it. I would love to see Michael Jordan take Anthony Edwards under his wing because Michael Jordan himself said he see a lot of himself in Anthony Edwards, which I got an Anthony Edwards video coming out later on today after I get home from work. So I'm going to do two Anthony Edwards videos, Anthony Edwards on the court, Anthony Edwards off the court. Some things that he should consider doing. Now, the only problem is why I think it might would be a problem, and you could find Michael Jordan and Anthony Edwards at odds because, as you guys know, contractually, Anthony Edwards is signed to Adidas. Adidas has made Anthony Edwards, to me, their number one guy, the face of their basketball brand, the face of basketball sneakers. And then, of course, we know who Michael Jordan is tied to. So that would be kind of difficult because you would wonder, okay, well, if you work with Michael Jordan, he might ask you to wear Jordans. And then I do think that it would be a distraction because if you was to find out that, or both shoe companies would find out that Michael Jordan was working with Anthony Edwards, Michael Jordan might get a phone call. Even though that shouldn't matter. Because keep in mind, James Harden was spotted and he was caught wearing some shoes other than Adidas. And if I'm not mistaken, Adidas threatened to come after James Harden. They threatened to sue him for every penny he got. So you really don't want to see that happen. But man, I would love it. I would love it. But just seeing Michael Jordan talking, yeah, I was glued. Just listening to the segment, I was like, yeah. and I'm gonna be looking forward to this season long. So I don't know how this is gonna work. How do they do this? It's kind of like what many people thought it would be, that maybe Michael Jordan just has a sit down and he takes a segment and they edit and they use basically the best parts of the interview. I would like to see Michael Jordan doing Q&A. I would like to see him doing some physical stuff. Not extremely physical stuff, but I'd like to see him on a basketball court demonstrating this stuff. So that's why I'm saying I would like to see Michael Jordan kind of like be an X's and O kind of dude, basically break down the game. That's what I would like to see. I would like to see him talk, about the current state of basketball and just be like an X's and O guy. I would like to see him do just different things throughout the season. But like I said, I am locked in. So with that being said, this your boy Tam. I'm out.